Who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Okay, so my name is Josh. I'm Josh Moody. I'm the senior pastor of a church called Cottage Church in Wheaton, which is in Chicagoland. I'm also president of an organization called God Centered Life Ministries. I was born south of London. I'm married with 4 children. And I love Jesus and love His Word. And so that's, I guess, a little bit about me. Okay. What led you to write this book? This book being boasting. So, I wrote this book because I was preaching a sermon in the book of Romans, got to verse 2 of chapter 5, where it says, "We rejoice in the hope of the glory of God." And there was something about that sermon that really took off. And so the word rejoice, underneath it is the word boast, translated in chapter 3 as boast. Same word. So in chapter 3, Paul says, we don't boast. Boasting is excluded because of the gospel. But now, once you become a Christian, now there is something about which you do boast. And so I did a whole year's research on that, looked into it, and I really think there is a necessary remedy to our tendency today to either hide away because we don't want to be celebrities, or go to the other extreme and sort of boast about ourselves. So what does it mean to boast in the Lord? And the heart of that's the gospel, the cross of Jesus Christ. Let him who boasts, boast in the Lord. That's what the book is about. Promoting Jesus. How to do that. Okay, here we go. Next one. Oh, tell us about your book. I guess I just did that. Okay, keep on going. All right. Why should people read it? So I think that it's, we live in this age where there's huge opportunity for everyone to have a platform. You've got Twitter, you've got Instagram, you've got Pinterest, you've got Snapchat, you've got Facebook, you've got everything. And with that opportunity, there's constant, you either got to seize it or you're going to sort of pretend it isn't there. And if you seize that opportunity, you can do it in a good way or a bad way. And so what I want to say to the church, both in the social media realm, but in other ways as well, is we've got to seize every opportunity we can and get out there with the gospel in every way we can, promote that, as you like, boast about that, not be shy about it, and to do that with confidence and courage. It's really a bravery that I'm calling for, an audacity about the gospel in the public sphere. So that's why you should read the book. Okay. What authors have you found particularly helpful? So I'll give you a few dead ones and a few living ones. Okay, so for dead authors, some of the famous ones, Augustine, John Calvin, also Jonathan Edwards, very influential on me, Charles Spurgeon, and I go to them for different reasons. If I need a pickup, I go to Charles Spurgeon. If I need to think really deeply, I go to Jonathan Edwards or Augustine. And so those are some of the dead authors that influenced me. Living authors, John Piper, who else? John MacArthur, R.C. Sproul, these kind of people. C.S. Lewis. If you could, what would you say to your younger self? Yeah, that's a good question. What would I say to my younger self? I think I would say, in one sense, don't be in such a hurry. In another sense, be even more in a hurry. So let me explain that. So I think that, what's the most surprising thing about life? I think in some ways the most surprising thing about life is how short it is, how quickly time goes. So you have very little time. And so I would encourage my younger self to pick a focus early, as early as you can. I picked it pretty early, but as early as you can, and then be all in on that, because the amount of time that you have in life is just surprisingly limited, and it just takes time to build expertise, credibility, all that kind of thing. So you want to pick the thing that God's called you to do as early as you can. There's another whole conversation how you know what it is that God's calling you to. Pick that as early as you can, and then stick to it with as much deliberateness as you can. So be on a hurry in a sense, because time is short, but don't kind of meander around the different options like I think I did a bit too much in my 20s. Okay. What are some challenges in gospel ministry? I think the basic challenge in gospel ministry is suffering. So if we are going to authentically carry the gospel of the cross, then we will truly carry the cross. And we can run away from that. We can get discouraged by that, even depressed by that. So the opposition, misunderstanding, devilish attack, our own sin, all these things that if Paul says, I fill up in my body the afflictions that are lacking. And so it's a missionary suffering. There's nothing lacking in Jesus' atoning sufferings. But now there's a call for us to be on the path of missionary sufferings, of gospel sufferings. And so the biggest challenge really, I think, is suffering. And you need to be upfront about that and know what you're buying into if you're going into pastoral ministry or missionary ministry, and accept that with joy. There is no doubt, I would say, dogs. I love dogs. The friendliness, I'm a dog person, not a cat person. Cats, whenever you're nice to a cat, they look at you as if, well, of course you're being nice. I mean, who wouldn't be? I'm a cat. Whereas dogs seem like they're grateful for your kindness. So I'd be a dog person, yeah. You arrive at someone's house. What is the best meal they could give you? Probably a really good curry. Really good curry. I just love that. So, yeah. Do you have any hidden talents? Do I have any hidden talents? No, I don't think so. I don't think I do have any hidden talents. Yeah, no, I don't think I do. Hobbies? I like to play tennis. Yeah. So whether that's a talent or not, but I'd like to play tennis.